Brother with a good heart, I say f you if you racist. Or white, staying quiet, you disabling the changes. We in a pandemic, thought getting out I'd be more joyed. Then I watched the cop meet to the neck and kill George Floyd.
That is Dame Dolla's new single, Blacklist. The Trailblazer superstar Damian Lillard released a new track highlighting frustration with the police killings of black men and women.
Dame told us why he felt compelled to release the song.
And I do music, so I was like, what better way, than to express it. And it was, I feel like it was a lot of support behind it. And most of the people offended by it was just like, all lives matter. And I was like, nobody never said, I do think everybody's life matters, but it's like black people's lives are a part of all lives and they don't seem to matter much.
We also saw Dame protesting arm in arm with the Black Lives Matter movement in downtown Portland last month. Now, Dame has also said that he will put the question, how many more, on the back of his jersey when the NBA season returns at the end of this month in Orlando. So let's bring in our live panel, and this raises the question of just how athletes can use their platform to spread the message and to create change. So Evanson, let's start with you. What's the best way for athletes to step up and make an impact during these times? What do you think?
Kind of like Braden did, going to social media, that's a powerful tool now that has definitely changed the landscape and got the message out there. Another way, I was watching the Michael Jordan documentary, and there was an issue I know that happened, and everyone kind of looked at Jordan to speak up and say something, and he didn't. He was worried about his brand, his image. And now, the Trayvon Martin, you saw the Miami Heat with, Wade and LeBron and Bosh, and those guys, wore the hoodies and the black sweaters and was spoke out. And that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that. And so you just kind of see the athletes definitely have a voice now. And if we can continue to push the word out there, there's going to be change. And some people say, well, it's just like we've had this before. With the Rodney King and some other, obviously all those guys are people unfortunately passed away from it, and we've had a big riot for it or whatnot. But this one just has a different feel to it. The George Floyd situation just has a totally different feel to it. And so I don't think I don't think it's like the past. I think there is change coming. You're starting to see it from corporate level too.
And Terrell, what about you? What do you think about this? I mean, how do you think athletes should use their platform to make a change?
I think it's a very difficult situation to be in. I know I thought about if I was currently playing right now, what would be my stance? And I probably wouldn't play for the simple fact that, maybe being a business owner puts me in a different situation, of course. But I was going through it just like, all of the small businesses around the country of, being graffiti. My whole building has been graffiti. They tried to break into my barbershop, and they end up hitting Zoom Care. They end up hitting the realtor company across the street from my barbershop. It would be a very difficult thing because I would be strictly on the social impact that I could make for Black lives. And so I wouldn't play. That would be my preference. You know what I'm saying? Not only because of the COVID that's going on right now with coronavirus, but also with more importantly, with what's going on with the injustice that's going on. I would definitely forfeit my basketball career and strictly just concentrate strictly on how can I improve North and Northeast Portland, and try to get with the so-called good police, the so-called good politicians, and the so-called great white people, and say, what can we do to make a change? And so that would be definitely my stance.
Yeah, and you have definitely a different perspective because you were a business owner even when you were playing in the NBA, when you were playing in the league. I remember you bought your barbershop over there on Alberta Street while you were still playing.
Absolutely. So thank you for saying that, because so my mind frame is totally different, and it's just so sad though. Bobby, you've been to my barbershop many times, And it's sad that we have to go through this situation in which, we have to separate ourselves because Portland is such emotional hugging community. You see people right here in Portland, and we hug more than people from the country folks. You know what I'm saying? And now, you know what I'm saying? And now that that we're in this position, we don't know who to trust. I went to the University of Oregon in Eugene, and when I played at Matt Court, oh man, it was number 10, Terrell Brandon. But as soon as I finished in Eugene, Oregon, it was TB, you better watch yourself, and that's just how it is. I had to watch myself, watch my back at all times, and do exactly what my dad taught me is, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I understand that completely. Thank you for weighing in on that. Now, it's been 4 years now since Colin Kaepernick began kneeling during the national anthem. Our AJ McCord joins us now. And AJ, you spoke with a former Green Beret who said he was at first disgusted by Kaepernick taking a knee.
Exactly. So that's what one former Green Beret said to me just a few weeks ago. But how his stance has changed since black men and black women have been killed in recent months, he now understands why Kaepernick made the loudest statement of all, not with his words, but with his actions. Jason Van Camp served in the United States Army as Green Beret for nearly 15 years. A former college football player and an NFL teams consultant, Van Camp took notice when Colin Kaepernick sat in protest of police brutality in 2016 during the national anthem.
My first reaction was disgust. I didn't understand why he was doing it. I thought he was disrespecting the flag.
Van Camp, along with former Seahawk and fellow Green Beret Nate Boyer, served in Iraq together. Boyer decided to reach out to Colin Kaepernick when he first sat in protest during the anthem. It led to a meeting in a San Diego hotel lobby between Boyer, Kaepernick, and Kaepernick's then teammate, Eric Reed.
Nate said, when we have a fallen comrade in the military, we typically take a knee. And, I would encourage you to do that.
Kaepernick followed Boyer's advice and proceeded to kneel during the national anthem for much of the 2016 season. Still, in the past 3 years, Van Camp struggled with the flag being the vessel for Kaepernick's message.
We're talking about racial inequality, not the anthem. Why is it there,
And when you hear people like Colin Kaepernick explaining that it's not about the flag, but that is a moment when in his platform, he has the world's attention. And so if he's going to make an impact, that is a moment that his platform affords him to make an impact. What is your reaction to that side of the coin?
If you really want to make an impact and get people's attention, you got to do something bold and dramatic. He who dares wins, right? I get that.
In the wake of George Floyd's death and the nationwide protests it sparked, Van Camp describes the evolution of his emotions.
When I first kind of was introduced to this, I was because I didn't understand. And then through Nate Boyer and through the conversations, I was like, okay, I get it. And I want to support. And now I'm taking it personal. And the motto of the Green Berets is De oppresso libere. And that's a Latin phrase, which means to liberate the oppressed. So for me, if Americans are being oppressed, I don't care if they're black, white, Asian, red, green, purple, I don't care. If they're Americans, they're my brothers and sisters, right? If they're being oppressed, I'm not going to tolerate that. Hell no, So I'm not going to understand. I don't have the capability to ever understand what it's like to be a black male in America. And I'm not going to say that I do. But I am saying that I'm going to promise I will do my best to end oppression and racism in our country, because it's time to take things personally as a country.
Kaepernick has not played in the NFL since 2016. The league's commissioner, Roger Goodell, said for the first time last month that he would encourage a team to sign him.
A lot of people have been saying that Collins should be on a team right now. AJ, thank you. That's an interesting perspective from the former Green Beret.
And let's go back to the panel. Braden, we'll start with you, my man. What was your initial reaction to hearing a former Green Beret frustrated at first with, Kaepernick's decision to kneel during the national anthem, and now overwhelmingly supports it?
I mean, just as anyone who hears his story, you got to understand his initial confusion with why he was sitting and kneeling, just because, he felt strongly about what he did. But I think once he took the time to sit down and kind of understand the message that he was sending and why he was doing it during the anthem, like they had mentioned, I think he realized, what he meant by it. And that's why he was able to understand. And I think that's largely the biggest issue right now. It's not a matter of what people are doing. It's a matter of just sitting down and listening to the reasoning why people are doing it. And that's why we saw this man, have a change of heart and feel so passionately about what Colin Kaepernick is doing right now and has been doing for years.
All right, thank you, Braden. Well, in sports, black people play, but seldom hold positions of power. Take a look at this. 70 to 75% of athletes in the NFL and the NBA are black. Only about 7% of Major League Baseball players are black, but there's a large population of Latino players. So they make up about 42% of all baseball players, being people of color now. But very few African Americans hold positions of power or coach in those big three sports. Now, we spoke with Portland Trailblazer C.J. McCollum, who says it's time for this trend to change.
So that gives you an understanding and idea of how there's a lack of diversity on all levels across the board. You look at the NBA in general, we've talked about the numbers. We're trying to figure out a way to get more people of color in high positions of power. We're good enough to play, but why aren't we good enough to be in positions of power and coach? So those are the things we're trying to work on. We're trying to work on pipelines, internships. The NBA has been great in those conversations and discussing that.
Yeah, we understand that he's putting education reform on the back of his jersey when they go into the bubble to resume the NBA season. Let's go back to our panel, and I want to throw this to Terrell because this is somebody that we both know, Ime Udoka, who played for the Blazers, played for the San Antonio Spurs, assistant coach for Greg Popovich at San Antonio, now with Philadelphia, and he's been talked about getting a head coaching job. So when you hear that and you talk about the lack of major sports organizations hiring black front office executives, coaches, just talk to me about your feelings about that and the need for that.
You know what, Kenny, it's a shame. That's really the best word I can use. It's really a shame that a young man who can, you ask a person, not only of a black man, but any coach to pay your dues. And he has paid his dues. I mean, he was under one of the best coaches in Coach Pop. I played against Coach Pop for years. That's the reason why us in Minnesota couldn't go to the next level, because we kept going against San Antonio. You're asking this young man to go to the league, come out of Portland State, pay his dues, learn from the great, and then not all of a sudden get an opportunity to be a head coach. But every time you hear a coaching vacancy, you hear his name, but then you don't give him, you don't give him the respect of not only just an interview, which is really crazy in the NFL. And you gentlemen can talk about that with, interviewing a minority, but then not hiring them, as a crush, that's a pat on the back. But not give him an opportunity to be a head coach, I think it's ridiculous. He has earned the right. He knows the game. He's an underdog. He's from Portland. And we from Portland, we always, are known as underdogs anyway. He will be a perfect coach and example for players who are not just superstars, but coming through the G League, coming through high school, coming through, so many different things, going overseas to play, and then coming over and saying, you can make it because I did the same thing. I think it's ridiculous. You look at all of our NBA, NFL teams that we have right now, and we all have nothing but black men on those teams. Let's just be honest. If you take all the black men away from sports, what type of sports would we have right now? It would be zero. I'm talking about college, high school, AAU, NBA, NFL, any type of professional you have, it would be crazy. This young man, he deserves it right. And I just hope that he just hangs in there and keep representing Portland and do what he's supposed to do. But it's a shame. And we all know it's a shame. And we know what it is. It's a negative democracy. it's races, it's all of our sports are Black men and Black women involved, and we're not getting the opportunity, and we deserve it.
Yeah, definitely so. I wanted to direct that question to you, even though I know the other two panelists would have something to say about that, just because we both know Ime Udoka, and he's from Jefferson High School and grew up here. We'll hear from you again in just a couple of minutes. You know, former Portland Trailblazer Antonio Harvey grew up in Mississippi, but his travels as a player and then later a broadcaster in the NBA led him to put down roots right here in Portland. Sports director Adam Bjarnson joins us with that story. Adam?
Yeah, and you know, Antonio's got some great historical perspective on Portland. He and I talked for a good half hour, Ken. We squeezed out some of his best 3 minutes. I'm telling you, that was hard to do with tone, but no worries. We're going to be putting the entire clip up on coin.com. Now, Harvey has incredible passion for what is happening, and right out of the gates, I asked him if he feels that Portland has made progress in the Black Lives Matter movement.
What I will say is this is probably the most important thing that's happened since the Civil Rights Movement of 1964. Prior to the Civil Rights Movement, it was obvious that there was a discrepancy. There was not a separate but equal scenario in this country. It was separate, not even close to equal. Then things just people kind of felt like it was equal. Oh, we gave you civil rights. What's the problem? You should be happy with that. That should be enough. But we kept complaining. We kept telling you that things are not equal. You know, still not good. There's still changes that need to be made. And now with the death of George Floyd again, people are paying attention. And it's not just the Black community. It's all communities. And it's not just here in the U.S.
Are the things that you're seeing now that are taking place pushing us in the right direction? Is this the positive move that we need to be having right now?
There's a lot of things that are going on that I'll be honest with you, Adam, I don't see the point. Like, part of the conversation we had the other day, stripping the name Civil War from the game between the Ducks and the Beavers. I mean, stop. Like, let it go. That doesn't even matter. That is so inconsequential in terms of what's really going on in this country. Nobody cares, particularly Black people. We don't care that it's called the Civil War. We completely understood it. It's interstate rivals, all of that kind of stuff. It only made sense. But in my opinion, it's almost making a mockery of everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. To take something so trivial and say, oh, this is how we're going to show we care. Well, if that's how you care, I'd rather you not. I'd rather you do something substantial. How about this one? University of Oregon and Oregon State. Instead of stripping the name Civil War, keep the name Civil War and bring your faculty and staff to represent race relations in this country. 13% of the U.S. population is Black. Make 13% of your staff and faculty Black, because that's true movement. Being Black in Portland was different because the Black community is only just now really starting to take roots. We're only in our third generation of Black people in the city of Portland. And without that root system, it's hard to really progress. I will say this though, the Black people in Portland overall work the hardest I've ever seen at equality. And it is very refreshing. They do not let this city off the hook. If you're not pulling your weight, they will let you know time and time again.
I talked about some of that passion. You can just extract it right out of tone there. Like I said, there was so much we talked about, including Harvey's message to people who take issue with the Black Lives Matter movement. Tone says he wants people to listen. Let the message sink in, because the more we listen to one another, the more progress is going to be made. That full interview, by the way, going to be up online at coin.com. Guys?
Yeah, you got to love Tone's candor there. Well, you heard Antonio's thoughts on the Civil War, the rivalry between the Oregon Ducks and Oregon State. It will have a new name for the first time in more than a century. Next on Race and Justice, Oregon athletes speak out why the matchup is no longer called the Civil War, and we ask, does the name really matter? We'll throw that to the panel coming up.